Okay, we'll now open the December 2025 regular school board meeting of School District 518. Call to order, roll call. All board members are present. Recognition of visitors and guests. Got a few here again. Thanks for attending tonight's meeting. 1.3, Pledge of Allegiance. Everyone stand, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 1.4.1, public participation. I don't believe we've had any tonight. 1.4.2, recognition of students, staff, and community. Okay, starting out with recognition, Trojan football. Congratulations to Fino Nueno for being named to all-district team. Congratulations as well to Isaiah Schrader and Logan Kirkhart, who earned honorable mention recognition. Well done on an outstanding season. Prairie Elementary, the Minnesota VFW Auxiliary Art Contest. Congratulations to our Prairie Elementary students who participated in the Minnesota VFW Auxiliary Art Contest. Several student entries will advance for consideration at the district level. Excellent work and creativity. The WHS Choral Department Honor Choirs and Madrigal. Congratulations to our WHS choir members selected for various honor choirs. Reagan Phelps was selected for the ACDA Midwest Regional Honor Choir and will travel to Milwaukee in February to perform. We had a number of students that were selected for the Minnesota ACDA 9th and 10th grade honor choirs traveling to the Twin Cities in February. Job well done to the WHS Choral Department on a successful biannual performance of the WHS Madrigal. Two outstanding performances were enjoyed by appreciative audiences. Bravo. WHS Art Department and WHS Art Morale. Worthington High School recently welcomed visiting artist Sarah Caso Garcia, a Huxley, Iowa-based muralist and community arts leader. His visit provided students with valuable insight into the life of a working artist and highlighted the importance of storytelling, collaboration, and cultural expression through visual arts. The mural will be displayed at the WHS cafeteria with plans for a second mural during Sarah Caso's return visit this spring. Job well done to everyone involved in this impactful project. Celebration Chorus and 5th grade orchestra. Congratulations to our Celebration Chorus, Community Education, and 5th grade orchestra on two fantastic performances last week, including the orchestra's performance last night. Your music truly helped usher in the spirit of the season and was greatly appreciated. Intermediate School and Worthington Middle School Music Department's Festival of Music. Last night's Festival of Music featured band, choir, and orchestra performances from each grade level. Congratulations to all students and staff involved for a wonderful evening of music and a job well done. Okay. Moving on, 2.0, approval of agenda. We need to approve the consent agenda and the main agenda with removal of 4.2.5 from the consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the agendas with removal?
So moved.
Motion by Lori. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Aaron. All those in favor of approval of the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. 3.0, we need approval of minutes, approval of the November board meeting minutes and the committee meeting minutes as included. Do you need a motion to approve minutes?
So moved.
Motion by Ann. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Eric. All those in favor of the approval of the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Okay, 4.0, the consent agenda. I need a motion to approve all items under the consent agenda.
So moved.
Motion by Ann, do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Lori. All those in favor of the items under the consent agenda, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Moving on to the main agenda. Monthly financial overview. Carmen?
For the period ending November 30th, you can see that our revenues and expenditures are running very close to the previous year. Our revenues for total operating funds are at 33.85% compared to last year, at 33.96%. Similar with our expenditures, running 33.57% compared to 35.65%. As we have mentioned previously, we are planning on doing a revised budget. We'll most likely not have that ready for January, as we are waiting for the negotiations with the teacher bargaining group to be completed, as that will be that's a big part of the budget, so we're not going to complete that revision until we get that process, so then we can give you a really clearer picture on that.
Okay, questions for Carmen? Okay, 5.2. Approve the final reading of policy 722, public data and data subject requests.
This is the final reading for policy 722. This came out of a recommendation from MSBA. It went through both committee and previous board reading without further discussion. Just as a reminder, the addition to this policy is a stipulation that gives us as a district a little bit of latitude when a formal data request is made by an outside entity that requires payment. If that request is made and payment is not received, the new clause allows us to not fulfill further requests by the same entity until they reimburse for the time and material from the previous data request. So just that's a reminder of what the change was. All other parts of the policy remain.
Okay, if we agree with the final reading, do I have a motion for policy 722?
Move to approve final reading of policy 722, public data and data subject requests.
Okay, motion by Matt, do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ann. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor of policy 722, public data and data subject requests, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Okay, 5.3, approve resolution directing the administration to make recommendations for possible reductions.
Right, so this resolution, this district has done this for quite a few years. What it basically does is it directs administration to review district finances, which is something we do all the time anyway, evaluate programs and services, access staff levels. So as we talk about staffing, which I will be giving a presentation on staffing, what our staffing process is going to be this year at the January board meeting. If we feel like there's staffing reductions, that would be a conversation. Part of it also ensures legal and contractual compliances. What the resolution does not do, it does not immediately cut programs. It does not automatically eliminate positions. And it does not identify specific employee layoffs. So this is really just you guys just authorizing us to move forward, look at budgets, look at numbers, look at staffing, look at programs, really just evaluate our current systems is what this does.
We have a motion.
I move approval of the resolution.
Second.
Motion by Lori, seconded by Matt. Is there any further discussion?
So I'm not asking this question opposing, this, but what would happen if the board did not authorize you to do this?
I mean, technically, we still would have to do our job and go through the process. This is just a kind of a formality. I think that I had kind of asked around today because a lot of districts use this if they have experiencing like financial constraints or huge reduction in student enrollment, which, as we had mentioned before, we are seeing a little bit of a decrease there. It just basically kind of gives the administration like, hey, we want you to come back to go out, do a very thorough study of our staffing, our programs that we're offering. Are we offering the right programs? And then everything comes back to the board. Okay.
Okay, any
quick-
further?
Quick question. So we went through this last year, and there were
Yeah.
nearly every area had some reductions that we approved last year. Can we get an update on what we did there as well? Not part of this process, but again, separate. I mean, I'm thinking about things like transportation, where we said we were going to reduce the number of charter buses we took. We're going to reduce that by $50,000, I think is what we said. Is there a way to follow up on what happened last year as well?
I believe that, yeah, we can do that. And I think that's, so as we get into like the staffing for next year, but also in that revision of the budget, when we come to that, I think that's when maybe we can address some of that, Darla, and kind of do that with that process, and then our staffing is kind of a whole separate. Does that make sense? Okay, thanks.
Any further discussion? Okay, we have a motion and a second. This is a roll call vote.
Miss Dudley.
Aye.
Miss Agard.
Aye.
Miss Shutey.
Aye.
Miss Mills.
Aye.
Mr. Bloom.
Aye.
Mr. Parrish.
Aye.
Mr. Widboom.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. 5.4, consideration approval of the 2025 levy payable for 2026.
So Ryan had presented that to you guys in the truth in taxation hearing. The preliminary one was approved by you guys in September. This is just the final process of that. And I believe the recommendation is that you approve the max levy.
What did that end up at, Ryan? It wasn't the original
1.67.
1.67.
Yep. Yep. So that was the increase, was 1.67.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna approve it. I need a motion to approve the max levy.
So moved.
Motion by Ann,
Second.
seconded by Eric. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor of the approval of the 25 levy payable in 26, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Okay, 5.5, approve to declare surplus property.
All right, we've got a fairly significant batch of band uniforms that we're looking to offload now that the new uniforms had been shown and revealed at the indoor band concert. And so Mike came to instructional committee and shared we've got a number of band marching tops, marching band pants, the shakos or the hats, and the color guard uniforms. They've looked into trying to parcel them out and sell them, but in order to do that, we would have to dry clean each one of them, go through each one of them, and really the time and the effort to parcel them out that way just wasn't conducive with the return. So looking to declare them as surplus, and we'll find a different, more cost-effective way to take those out of our system.
Okay, do we have a motion to declare surplus property?
So moved.
Motion by Eric,
Second.
seconded by Aaron. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor to declare surplus property, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. 5.6, approve an out-of-state travel request.
Yes, we've got this one as well, went through our instructional committee. We're recommending approval tonight to allow 4 staff members, 2 teachers, Melissa Jensen, our elementary curriculum coordinator, and one of the administrators from Prairie Elementary to go to the UFly Academy 3-day conference in Florida. The UFly is a continuation of our commitment to making sure that our students and our staff are progressing through the various READ Act and literacy initiatives going on throughout the state. And so this request also went through the district staff development team. And so it's had that approval again, as well as the instructional committee approval.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the out-of-state travel request?
So moved.
Motion by Eric, do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ann. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor of the out-of-state travel request, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. 5.7, approve the first reading of policy 606, textbooks and instructional materials. 306, administrator code of ethics. 417 chemical use and abuse, and 712 video recording other than on buses.
Thank you. I'm going to break each one of these just apart if that's okay and go through them. And then if you'd like to approve them all together, we can do that. But again, each one of these went through committee. We're recommending approval. These are all MSBA changes with either statute changes or language changes. The policy 606 was an addition into the what constitutes instructional material. I'll just read it quickly because it's short. The addition says all instructional materials, including teacher manuals, films, tapes, or other supplementary material, which will be used in connection with any survey, analysis, or evaluation as part of an applicable program, should be available for inspection by parents or guardians of students. So that is the addition to policy 606. 306 is a complete rewrite of the general statement of policy. This is the Administrator Code of Ethics. So I'm not going to read all of those, but again, these were all discussed through, this one I believe went through Operational Committee. I'm going to skip 417 for a second and go to 712. This is a language change. Much of this is just changing narrative, changing video surveillance to recording, given that just in the days we have, video recording happens in lots of different ways, not just the cameras in the classroom, or sorry, not in the classroom, in the hallways or in the public areas, but also through devices. And so it's updating those different language pieces to comply with current trends. In regard to 417, I had shared with Operational Committee that when we got the suggested changes from MSBA, we began looking at mirroring what we had in policy and what was being suggested. And what we came to find is that the policy had not been updated since 2016. And so there was no way to make the changes that were suggested match what we already had in policy. And so given it had been 10 years and it looked like there had been many other revisions over the years, our recommendation as administration is to adopt the current full MSBA policy 417 and kind of start fresh with a brand new in 2025. So those would be the four policies that we're asking for a first read on and approval for tonight.
Okay, do I have a motion for the first reading of policy 606, 306, 417, and 712?
So moved.
Motion by Ann, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Lori, is there any further discussion? All those in favors of the first reading of all the policies listed, say aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Okay, 5.8, approve student teaching agreement with Western Governors University.
Yeah, we've got a renewal for an agreement with this university to continue to support our teachers that are, or future teachers that are working their way through the education process. This is an agreement, I believe, is yearly. Is that correct? And so we're looking to renew that relationship. Again, continuing to find ways to support our future educators through that student teaching process. And so we're recommending approval. This is a relationship we've had in the past and is, again, just looking to continue that.
Do I have a motion for the teaching agreement with Western Governors University?
So moved.
Motion by Ann, do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Aaron. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor of the teaching agreement, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. 5.9, approve Prairie Elementary Phase 2 roof bid.
This bid was brought to operational. Bids were opened on November 19th. We had 4 bidders that met all criteria. The range of base bid cost, the highest was almost $2.7 million, and the most favorable bid was $2,083,000, and that would be the one that we recommend going with. Happens to be Jackson and Associates. That's who did the first phase of Prairie Roof. Estimated start date is May 30th, with work days being approximate construction days of 30. We think it'll take it a little bit longer, but. And operational did recommend approval. And this is listed as phase 2, but this would finish Prairie.
And it come in under bid, right?
Came in under projection.
Or under a projected bid. Okay, do I have a motion to approve the Prairie Elementary Phase 2 roof bid?
So moved.
Motion by Darla, do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ann, is there any further discussion? All those in favor of the Prairie Elementary Phase 2 roof bid, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. 510, approve employees' request for unpaid leave.
We have an employee who has been out on medical. Her paid leave has been exhausted, and she's requesting to go on to unpaid leave status through March until she has her next appointment, and then we will review it at that point. The recommended action is to approve the request.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve the request?
So moved.
Motion by Lori, do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Aaron, is there any further discussion? All those in favor of the employee's request, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Okay, 5.11, approve a band trip request.
Mike Thompson came to instructional committee last week and had shared that we are back in rotation now to take our marching band students on a excursion across the country. They're looking to participate in the Sugar Bowl Parade in New Orleans, Louisiana. That would be next December the 28th through January the 2nd, so December 26th to early January 27. They are going to contract or work through a music travel consultant, and they'll help organize each student's fundraising efforts and collect their funding for that. The couple of pieces that are being considered here for your approval would be obviously sending our whole group to New Orleans. But the other piece is to continue with past practice. Mike has it broken down here that in the past, the school district has contributed money and funds to certain individuals who go on that trip. And so the district would cover the full contribution or full cost of the marching band staff to go along. That's 3 or 4 people. A district administrator with a group that large is pretty important. Head chaperone, and then also a medical person with the new laws that are in place regarding supporting students. We would have to send a nurse along just to be with any students that maybe have any medical needs. And so I believe, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, I believe Mike had shared that a typical cost to the district is between about $10,000 and $12,000, if that sounds correct, to cover the contribution there for those individuals. I think that's what I have. Yeah. Any questions?
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the band trip request?
So moved.
Motion by
Second.
Eric, seconded by Matt. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor of the band trip request, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. 512, approve petition for street vacation.
Yeah, so to continue to move forward with our softball field project, the next piece of that is to vacate Tower Street between the Old West property and the current Centennial Ball Fields. And so just for updating, we've continued to have conversation with ICS, our contractor partner on that project, as well as the city of Worthington. Where Tower Street sits right now, if you take the very middle of that road, kind of right between Clary Street and I think it's Lake Street to the south. I'm not sure which road that is, sorry. But that's the road that would be, part of the road that would be vacated, and then we would put the new concession stand, the restrooms right in the middle of that street, and then either side of that will be parking lots. We felt it was important to make sure that no one could drive through, and we liked the fact that we put that facility right in the middle so that if you are using the pickleball fields or courts or the basketball courts, it's in close proximity. Or if you're in at one of the ball fields on the other side, closer to the park, you'll also have close proximity there. But as a landowner adjacent to that road, I believe we can help the city move forward, and they need our approval to vacate that road.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the petition?
So move.
Motion by Matt, do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Darla. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor of the street vacate, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Okay, 6.0, reports. Superintendent's report.
All right. Before I share my report, I want to preface this with, I love all of our kids and all of our buildings, but I did spend 18 years in a middle school, so when I got asked to attend the Renaissance award ceremonies there a few weeks ago, it was great to be there. I got to spend a whole day there, basically. And so I did want to share my report tonight on how that event went. So a couple of weeks ago, I had the pleasure of participating at that special event at the Worthington Middle School, the first quarter Renaissance Academic Award Celebration. The event was organized to recognize and celebrate students who met established academic standards during the first quarter, and it was a privilege to be a part of. They held 3 separate ceremonies, one for each grade level, allowing every student who earned recognition to be individually called forward and acknowledged for their hard work and dedication. The student pride and energy was evident as we went through each of those grades. Each event was also very well attended, with families, friends, and staff members coming together to celebrate the accomplishments of our Trojan middle schoolers. And the strong turnout reflected the shared commitment and support that surrounds our students every day. During the ceremonies, I also got the opportunity to share a message with the students that mirrored the message I was able to share with many of the staff members that are here tonight at the start of the year, and that is hard work matters, but it's also important to have fun along the way. And they were able to say that with me at the end of each one of those. A little hard work, have fun chant at the end was great. The balance between high expectations and the joy in learning was on display throughout that event, and I commend the middle school staff for creating such a positive and meaningful experience for students and families. Events like these reinforce the importance of celebrating student success, recognizing growth, and building strong connection between school and home. I'm grateful for the Worthington Middle School team for their planning and dedication, and to the families for their continued partnership. And then lastly, on a second note, Principal Winnicky shared that he would like to extend an invitation to all of our board members to attend the annual winter breakfast tomorrow at the Learning Center. The special event takes place at 7 a.m. and breakfast will be served to students and staff by many other district staff. So we're hoping you're able to join. I found out this morning from Rena that I'm on egg duty, so I guess I'm making the eggs. So that is my December superintendent report.
Are we having fun?
We're having fun every day.
Okay, just checking. 6.2, instructional committee report.
Everything's been covered.
Okay, operations.
I believe it was covered, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. 6.4, other reports. I don't think we have any. 7.0, other business. I'm going to ask for a negotiations update.
All right, and I'll encourage any of our other negotiating friends to please jump in if I happen to miss anything. But I'll get started with the overall process thus far has been very cordial, very positive. I think all of us feel like the experience has moved us forward, and all of our conversations have been productive and student-centered and willing to problem solve. We've met 9 times, if my calendar is right. Is it more than that, Carmen? I had 9 when I look back, starting in June when I got here. We've got 2 more on the books coming forward. Some things that have been kind of already hashed out. We've done a lot of agreement of language. We've kind of come to an agreement as to a contribution for insurance, and the last piece that we have left is salary, and we're hopeful that we're close. We're about 1.1% apart on total salary, or on total package. So overall, we feel like it's been going well, and we're hopeful that we can continue to move forward and come together soon, so that we can all go back to teaching our kids and feeling good about how it's going. Anything I missed from the rest of the group members?
Mr. Chairman, can I ask specifics on percentages and difference between asking and proposed?
What would you like to know?
Whatever you're comfortable in sharing.
Our total package percentage that the district team was at an 8.25, and our teacher friends were just a little higher than that at a 9.33. Again, along with that goes an agreement on health insurance contribution. We've had some other pieces that have also been agreed upon. We've added some extracurricular positions to support student activities. We've done some increases in pay for some of those positions, knowing that they have a higher responsibility with the number of students, specifically in our music and band activities, supporting some of those positions. We've done some increases in 403 benefit to meet those needs, and EMW has been good about meeting us partway on some of our other language issues as well. So like I said, it's been very cordial, very productive, and I think both groups can say that it's been a positive experience.
One other question, Mr. Chairman, from an insurance perspective, can you share much of that impact on negotiations?
As far as
I mean, I know we had talked about the single family and the desire to increase the family participation.
Yep, both the single and the family have what we feel are fairly significant increases. Single insurance increasing at a $700 increase, and a family at about $1,700, I believe.
Are there additional meetings scheduled?
Our next meeting is January 7th, I believe.
So technically, we're above what the board authorized last month.
We are, and I know that there's still some conversation to be had and some justification with each of you on that. We know that there are some factors that are out of both groups' control. The inclusion of the Minnesota paid leave going through, that's an additional payroll tax that goes into effect on January 1st. The cost of that for both an employee and the district is it is 0.425%. We also know that the state has increased the district's contribution to TRA. And while we know that most of that dollar amount is reimbursed back to the district, there's never a guarantee to that. And so knowing that those two pieces added on to a total package cost does create a little bit of a handcuff to us as a district team to recognize that, and to recognize for the teacher group that we know that being costed against them does raise the overall package price. That as a smaller negotiating team with the 3 board members that sit on that, we did decide to go slightly over, or go over the board allocation or board authorization, and recognize that TRA and that paid leave are an expensive piece to be added to it. So that is why we are doing what we're doing, as we know that we need to cost everything for the district as a district liability, knowing that funding could always go away.
So how do we feel that's going to affect the budget going forward? I know, Carmen, you said we need to revise this when this gets negotiated, but I mean, one of our main jobs is financials and budgeting, so how's this going to affect it again?
Once we do settle the package, we will put those salaries back into the budget. That is part of our overall staffing thing that we are also working on, just to really get a clear picture. So we do have staffing numbers as well as cost, and then how those costs are funded. One of the things Ryan and I have been working on with Joel and Josh is to really reviewing what funds those staff things are, we're funding them out of. Whatever the process was in the past, we're just trying to maybe improve on that and get a better understanding of that, right? So as we're going through that, we're looking at some of the other funding sources that maybe weren't used in the past. So I think overall, the 8.25 is doable. We had kind of included Ryan in some of those conversations. We feel like that is something that we could do. Obviously, as you guys are aware, there is a lot of uncertainty in the state of Minnesota's finances at this point. So, but based on where we are at and with audit report, we feel like this is something that, and I think that's why we, as a group, kind of move forward, that we thought this was a reasonable offer that we could afford and still be okay with.
Okay, anybody else?
Mr. Chairman, a question for Mr. Heitkamp and the committee. We had just, what's your comfort level on our first-year teacher, our early teacher pays? And are we doing enough to address that and allow us to be competitive and continuously hiring?
I'll let Carmen jump in a second. We have looked at our starting pay. I think the other important piece is that we continue to fully fund a single health insurance contribution, pays for the deductible, puts a little bit money in their HSA, knowing that many of our first-year teachers are single. That's another benefit that we can offer along with a starting salary that keeps us very competitive in the area.
Yep, and I think just on a comparison, we kind of watched that as we were doing those increases. Currently, I do believe that we are higher than most of the surrounding schools at this point, and if not, it's very close.
Anyone else? Nothing? Okay. Future business 8.0. We're going to have a January 5th board reorganizational meeting at 7:15. So if you want to boot me, and I'll go back to the donor chair. So yeah, we have that at 7:15. If there's anything that anybody wants to do different, that'd be committees.
Yep. Committee assignments, basically, yeah.
Okay. I can't think of anything else. Okay. I'll look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Ann, do I have a second? Seconded by Lori. All those in favor to adjourn, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, meeting adjourned.